everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from Middle Earth once again. And today we are painting a model I've been incredibly excited for. Yes, we are painting Prince Imrahil of Dol Amroth, the all-new sculpt of this beautiful, beautiful model. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's long been a favourite of mine, and I've been really excited for this one. So a massive thank you goes out to Games Workshop for sending me this one early to build up and paint with all of you, and that is exactly what we're going to do now. So they've both been primed in white scar, and we are going to be painting both of them at the same time. However, we are just going to focus here on the horse because, well, there's nothing alternate really here about the one on foot or the one on horse other than maybe the sword, but we'll have to see. Anyway, we're going to pop him to one side, and we're going to take up our sword and our horse riding individual. And well, the colour we're going to be using first is Nuln Oil over the top of our white scar primer, and we're going to be applying this over the top of all of the horse, specifically the horse's flesh and hair, not the barding and stuff like that, just the horse's flesh and hair. So this is going to be the tail and what little of the skin of the horse you can see. So with that all done, the next logical colour is all of the blue, and there is a lot of blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 4 parts Asurmen Blue to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the areas that are going to be blue. So this is pretty much all of the cloth. Now there's a couple bits of it that is white, so I'd recommend having the box art and the product photography to hand to figure out what those bits are. But we are going to apply this over top of everything that's going to be blue, including things like the shield and Imrahil's cloaks and stuff like that. So with that 4-to-1 mix of Asurmen Blue and Lahmian Medium all applied, what we're then going to do is apply a second layer of it over the top. And so with that all done, we're then going to take a roughly 2 parts Lahmian Medium to 1 part Ultramarines Blue mix. And we're going to apply this over the top of it. So with that all done, our next job is to take some thinned down white scar. I'm going to use this to now correct all of our white details that we've applied blue over. So for example, we've got the bits back here and on the shield, and we've got all of these little crowns in the barding that we want to now apply this over the top of. So with all of that white scar applied to all of those white details, what we're going to do next is we're going to take some Black Legion. And we're going to apply this over the top of the hooves of the horse. We're going to apply it over the top of the belt. No, not the belt. The boots. The trousers. The gloves. And the shirt of Imrahil. And his sword sheath as well. Or scabbard. And so with all that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown. And we're going to apply this over top of all of the remaining leather, such as these straps, the saddle, belt, with all that Cygor Brown applied, we're then going to take two colours, Skeleton Horde and Gore-Grunta Fur. I'm going to apply this over the top of the wood of the lance. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking some Skeleton Horde, and we're going to apply this over the top of this rear part of the lance first. Like that. Then we're going to wash the brush, get rid of the water, and grab a little bit of Gore-Grunta Fur, and then towards the kind of the base of it, or the counterweight, we're going to apply that Gore-Grunta Fur. Like so. Then we're going to wash the brush once more, grab some Skeleton Horde, and then soften out that transition. Creating a lovely blend. Like so. Here we go. And then we're going to do the same thing, but on the other part of the lance, but going the other way. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over top of any blades and any chainmail. One area that we forgot to do before we do the rest of the metallics is the face. And we're going to be using Fyreslayer Flesh to do this. So with that Fyreslayer Flesh applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Hand Steel. And we're going to apply this over almost all of the remaining details. Now there's a couple of bits that are gold, such as the cross guard and the detailing on the sword and on the lance. And there's a couple of bits that aren't going to be gold at all. They are in fact going to be white. So it's going to be the wings up here and the wing there on the shoulder that we're going to avoid. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. And we're going to apply this over the top of the stirrups, those bits on the weapons that we talked about in the previous bit, as well as the sort of decorative details of the scabbard. So with that all done, we've now got all of our base coats on, except for one, which is technically also a shade. The shade is Pylar Glacier, which is a contrast paint. Anyway, we're going to be applying this over top of, well, all of our white details. So we've got the embossing here on the shield and on the back of the horse. However, for all the little crowns and things, we're not going to bother because they're already fine the way they are. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Coelia Greenshade, and we're going to use this to shade all of the silver plate armour. And with that Coelia Greenshade all applied, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil. I'm going to apply this over top of all the other silver, such as the blades and the chainmail. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. We're going to use this to shade the gold, and we're going to apply this over top of the lance as well. The wooden part specifically. So with those shades all applied, Prince Imrahil is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's looking pretty good. However, we're of course not going to leave it there. No, we're going to take it to the next level. And we're going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. Now, we're going to start by taking some thinned down Lothern Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight, unsurprisingly, all of the blue. Just pick a place to start. Let's start back here with the camera in focus, shall we? And so with all that Lothern Blue applied, we're then going to take some thinned down white scar. And we're going to use, I don't know why I said it like that. We're then going to use this to highlight all of the white details, and this is now going to also include the horse. But we don't need to highlight, again, all the little crowns because, well, we didn't do anything to them other than originally relayer them with white scar. So on the areas that we shaded with Pylar Glacier, we do need to go in, and similarly for the horse, we also need to go in and highlight. So with that white scar highlight all applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Dawnstone and use this to highlight the black details. And so with that all done, we then take a teensy tiny amount of Black Legion and we use this over the top of Imrahil's eyes. So with that all done, we're then going to take a teensy tiny little dot of Screaming Skull. I'm going to apply this in the corners of Imrahil's eyes, his horse's eyes, and then we're also going to use the Screaming Skull to highlight the lance. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight his face. And so with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Hand Steel. And we're going to use this to relayer all of the plate armour. Now we only really need to do the kind of wide open panels, so areas such as this leg and the horse's neck. We want to make it nice and bright and shiny. And just leave that Coelia Greenshade nestling in the recesses. And so with that all done, we're now going to highlight all of the silver using some thinned down Ironbreaker. And so with that all done, for our final highlight, we're going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight all the gold. And so with his base now complete, Prince Imrahil is now finished, and I absolutely adore this model. It is such a glow up, and it has always been a favourite character of mine from the Lord of the Rings, and it's so lovely to have a gorgeous plastic rendition of him. The old metal one was pretty good, but this one's just so much better, and I love it. I really enjoyed painting this one. It's my favourite that I've painted from MESBG so far, maybe.
If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.